Disney Star Wars is in a state of disaster. They are pushing fans away left, right, and center, and they're just dumping as much money into projects as possible that nobody's been asking for. But now the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland is casting doubt on a second season being made after all of the backlash it's already faced, and it's not even over. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Star Wars is not in a good place right now. They are dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into these shows that are not bringing them in the viewership they want and really don't have a lot of hype behind them, and the Acolyte is no different. While I am not opposed to a female-centric series, especially in the world of Star Wars where there are so many strong and badass female characters, they're just not creating stories that people want to watch, combined with okay visuals, pretty bad sets. It just doesn't come across very well, and people are sick and tired of the narratives that they are pushing down our throats in these pieces of content. Instead of just making a good Star Wars show, they're trying to make a Star Wars show that pushes the narratives they want to push, and it's not working out for them. And now Leslie Headland says, I don't even think it's going to get another season. It says, though, speaking with Entertainment Weekly following the release of the show's 5th episode, Headland said, something that I've noticed is first seasons will end on what should have been the break into an act 2. It feels like everyone's really expecting their shows to get a second season, but I don't feel that's a good idea. She said then, I threw everything into season 1 because who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, we already know this is not going to get a second season. I can basically guarantee it because all of these live action Disney Star Wars series haven't gotten follow-ups because their ratings have not been good, because their viewership has been lackluster, and because the reception to them on social media has been abysmal. I know companies like Disney always try to say, well, we try to look at the overall picture, and sometimes fans aren't going to really like it, but if the scores are really amazing and the few vocal fans who like it make sure to leave their positive reviews and we see that there are people genuinely enjoying it, we'll renew things. But that has not happened so far, and I don't see that changing. When they are putting over $200 million into a series, they need the ratings to be better than this. Now, of course, the critics have rated it pretty positively. I don't trust critic scores. I don't think you should be trusting critic scores either. But even the critic scores have slowly gone down as more episodes have released. It was up to an 87 originally, and now it's an 83. But the audience score has stayed relatively the same. It is sitting at a 14% audience with over 25,000 ratings. That means we have almost no fans of Disney Star Wars showing up to leave positive reviews, meaning they're either too lazy to support it, even though they're the only people that Disney and Leslie Headland created this series for, or even they are not impressed with this series. This is why we constantly say don't try to target a modern audience for your product, because a modern audience doesn't actually exist. The closest group of people are sensitive snowflakes on social media who don't buy products, who don't watch series like this, and who do not care about things like Star Wars. Going back to the article, though, it says despite Headland being unsure if the show will get renewed for a second season, she did inform the outlet that she has 4 or 5 major mysteries she'd like to explore if it does so. First of all, she doesn't even really have a clear goal. She doesn't have like a clear path in mind, but I think it is very wishful thinking to believe this could get a follow-up. Now, of course, we do know people like Bob Iger are greenlighting tons of shows like this. People like Kathleen Kennedy do believe in the Force is female message. I mean, she's also greenlit the Rey Skywalker movie, which is going to continue to inject feminism into this franchise. So there is a chance and a possibility the Acolyte will get a follow-up. I just just don't think, judging by these ratings and these review scores, that that is going to happen. It really doesn't seem like many people are enjoying it. And hey, I mean, I've watched it so far, even though I basically knew from the start I was going to hate it, but I still wanted to give it a chance because that's just what I do. I play games I think I'm going to dislike, I watch shows and movies I think I'm going to dislike, so I can have my own genuine opinion, and it is just overall extremely disappointing. Again, I love seeing strong female characters be the lead, but unfortunately, this show is just not providing me with that feel good, nostalgic Star Wars experience, and it also doesn't feel like they have built off of that in a new, unique direction that is meaningful. I think next year, come this time, people will have completely forgotten about the Acolyte, and what worries me the most about this situation is Kathleen Kennedy has boasted about how much she likes Leslie Headland, so she typically doesn't do that. So I think even if Acolyte season 2 does not happen, they are going to keep Leslie Headland around, and Leslye will end up doing another series. Maybe she'll even help on that Rey Skywalker movie, or she'll get her own other series. Maybe it doesn't have to be specifically in the Star Wars franchise, but something like that. God forbid, she'd love to ruin Indiana Jones, I'm sure. But it says not only are audience scores and user scores in the dumpster, but the show's viewership is poor as well. The Walt Disney Company officially revealed that the show's first 2 episodes only garnered 11.1 million global viewers, and this was supposed to be a week time span. And while you might be thinking to yourself, 11.1 million views in a week really isn't that, bad. It really is, because if you start breaking that down, first of all, in Hollywood and with other companies, typically they only give you a 3-day release window in order to judge those numbers. But that also means that per day it was only averaging roughly 1.5 million viewers. So that isn't very good. And analytics from several different firms, this one is Luminate, appear to confirm just how disastrous the viewership is. As you can see, here's the streaming originals television chart, May 31st to June 6th. And as you can see, womp womp womp, the Acolyte is number 9. And there really wasn't a lot that it had for competition, like Dancing for the Devil had already been out for weeks at this point. Eric was new, Geek Girl was new, Bridgerton, these are the several different Bridgerton seasons because the new season released, so people were pretty hyped for that. But I mean, we're talking about a series that started back in 2020 and then had a season in 2022, 2023, now 2024. And then we also had a slight bump the next week. The minutes watched increased, but we're still not talking about, amazing stand-up numbers here for Disney by any means. Now, of course, not all of the episodes of The Acolyte are out, but so far it has not gone well. We have the pronoun nonsense. We have them completely, changing around canon and lore that has already existed, diminishing the importance of characters like Anakin Skywalker, lightsabers, not killing people, and, of course, just tons of different problems that definitely have stacked up on top of the feminism filled dialogue. So only time will tell. Maybe within the next few episodes before the series ends, it will all completely be turned around. I highly doubt it, but everybody seemingly hates the Acolyte. And now Leslie Headland is preemptively telling people not to get their hopes up for an Acolyte season 2, even though I don't really think anyone was looking for a season 2 anyway. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.